Gods and elemental magic are tropes we consider as near omnipresent nowadays, so when we merge the two, the characters coming out is instantly iconic. Raiden, the Thunderlord from Mortal Kombat, and Thor, the God of Thunder from the Marvel Universe. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Alex from Azelrix and you're watching Fusion Factory, the show where I draw fusion between fictional characters. If you want to know more about how to draw and understand fusion, be sure to consult my system. It is clearly worded out in the description down below. There you will also find a playlist of all my fusions, but please by all means stick around and watch this video first. Today is a bit of a special episode as we're dealing with literal gods. So for the sake of clarity, we will only focus on the pop culture aspect of the characters, so no real world mythology. But nonetheless, let me assure you the result will be a shocker! Does that mean I'm gonna keep making electric teams spawn throughout the entire video? Yes. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. But if you want me to stop, be sure to just subscribe to my YouTube channel. And when we reach 100,000 billion trillion subscribers, I will stop puns forever. But there are only 7 billion people on Earth. You shut the hell up, go back to your cage. Okay. Sorry, that was my evil doppelganger. Let's just take a look at our fusion materials. Throughout the Mortal Kombat universe, there are countable timelines and alternative universes, and among these alternative universes, there is one that is specifically known to be dangerous. Outworld. In regard of the unstoppable hunger for conquering of its leader Shao Kahn, the Elder God decided on a law. A fighting tournament held once every generation, and if one world wins 10 times in a row over the other one, they have the right to invade them. And that's where our fulgurant protector zaps into the battlefield, the Thunder God Raiden. On the 10th and final chance for Earthrealm to defend itself, Raiden finds great fighters to defend it. That is when he's not busy kicking ass himself. As a god of thunder, Raiden possesses high-level electrokinesis, he can fly, teleport, he can heal the wounded, and he possesses great wisdom and intelligence. Being an immortal god, Raiden has lived countless lifetimes, in which he gathered information and knowledge that turned him into a very wise man and a skilled fighter. Visually speaking, he is greatly inspired from Kaminari-sama, the Japanese god of storm and thunder. His aesthetic, fighting style, and backstory are greatly inspired from Japanese folklore. That's why he harbors this classic martial artist look. When he fights, we can see lightning flowing through him, and it's obvious that he's prioritizing mobility over brute strength. Raiden is a natural-born leader, and with him at the head of Earthrealm, it is safe to say that we now have a chance to defeat Outworld once and for all. The Marvel Universe has no shortage of higher being, worlds, and gods. And without any doubt, the most iconic is the son of Odin, the Viking god of thunder, wielder of Mjolnir, commander of storm, the mighty Thor. Flashed to Earth to learn a little lesson of humility, the god of thunder evolved from an arrogant brat to a hero worthy of the title. Being based on Thor from the Nordic mythology, he is very loosely adapted. For example, I don't remember the part of the folklore where he joined the Avengers to defeat a killer robot. As a god, he is immortal, possessed near invulnerability, super strength, the ability to fly, and even a healing factor. Yes, just like Wolverine. Google it! All that boosted by Mjolnir, his warhammer, legendary weapon, symbol of his power, forged by the dwarf Eitri in the heart of a dying star, and it's tiny. It's ridiculously tiny. For the anecdote, in the classic Norse mythology, Thor was supposed to have a two-handed warhammer, but Loki, his brother and god of mischief, took the form of a fly and stung the dwarf that was smithing it. Being distracted, Eitri basically half-tasked the job and Thor just rolled with it. But even though it is small, it doesn't mean it is useless. The hammer. Even though the hammer is small, it doesn't mean that it is useless. Can we do that again? Mjolnir is nearly indestructible, an incredible weapon that only someone worthy can lift, as you all know. It's also fast enough to fly to the edge of the universe and back in less than a minute, and it catalyzes Thor's lightning, making it impossible to steal his thunder. but such brute strength can be very dangerous and needs to be kept in check, which is why Thor took the habit of reducing his own power voluntarily. That said, he also has the ability to tap into his god madness, a berserker rage that removes any inhibition and allows Thor to bolt out at full strength. When we talk about character design, Thor possesses all the traits of a classic Norse god. More muscles that he knows what to do with, Viking armor, and a gorgeous set of hair. Look at that, I want to sleep in a bed made of only these golden threads. I'm joking, but Thor's hair are as recognizable as, let's say, Iron Man's armor. Oh my god, it would be a shame to take that away, wouldn't it? You disgust me so much! He also often wears a cape and helmet, boosting up the god, warrior, king, and Viking aspect of the character. And both in terms of build and equipment, Thor has all the assets at his disposal to be considered one of Marvel's greatest heavy hitters. And it is with this electrifying powerhouse supporting the Avengers that the Marvel Universe now has a godly figure to look up to. Fusing two thunder gods is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and even though they are very similar, Thor and Raiden uses lightning way differently. First of all, I needed to find a balance between the Japanese aesthetic arbored by Raiden and the Viking aesthetic wielded by Thor. Raiden fights lightly, being strategic and wearing light armor, while Thor, he's the embodiment of brute force. Finally, the biggest difference lies in their way of using electrokinesis. Thor uses lightning like a tool, a weapon, like he was commanding this unstoppable force of nature to obey his godly will. While Raiden, he uses electricity as an extension of his own body, reinforcing the shot he gives to his opponent, but also giving the impression that lightning lives within him in a symbiotic lifestyle. So I decided to find the middle ground between these elements. This is Thunderlord! An hermit living atop of the largest mountain in the multiverse, protected by a constant thunderstorm he calls home. He is the greatest electromancer known to man and can generate and summon rain, lightning, storm, and thunder at will. I went for an evocation fusion, the art of respecting the general themes of my materials and just adding some visual representation of them in a fully functional new character. For Raiden, I choose to represent him with the general kimono style of the armor and the lightning coming out of his hand. As for Thor, we can recognize his hair, obviously, and beard. I threw some of his armor element into the kimono, mainly the round chest plate he arbors in some comics. For the colors, I wanted a strong contrast, so I went with dark teal and yellow. Raiden usually being dressed in a neutral color such as black and white, and Thor following this logic with a bit more color, I decided to keep my bright colors subtle. Then I started playing with light over my darker colors. I also reinforced his armor with gauntlets and leg protectors to add to the warrior aspect of the character usually wielded by Thor. I gave him a build where he relies more on muscles than Raiden, but still seems to possess a better agility than Thor. I didn't represent Mjolnir or Raiden's staff, as I wanted this character to fight and use his power without weapon, commanding lightning at will and turning him into a true force of nature. So that's it, guys. Tell me in the comment section what did you think about this fusion and what character I should fuse next. You can always find my fan art on Instagram and follow me on Twitter, all links in the description. If you behind your screen are an artist, be sure to reach to me on my media or to leave your own in the comment section. If you do that, maybe who knows, someday we'll do a collaboration. Now that it's done, be sure to subscribe and activate the bell to be notified whenever a new video comes up. Share this video with all your Mortal Kombat and Marvel fans friends as always. Thanks for watching.